You're pathetic, and you're asleep.
I guess I woke up.
So I just came from watching Carry On. Carry On is a 2024 American action thriller. It stars Taron Egerton, or Egerton, however you pronounce his name. He's actually the reason why I clicked on this movie, because I know him from the film Kingsman, The Secret Service. I like that one, that first movie. This is going to be a non-spoiler review of this film. This film was released December 13, 2024. It does the genre of thriller very well, in my opinion. The last time I think Netflix did thriller well, like a thriller where I felt like thrill and anticipation and suspense and mystery and that type of thing, was the movie Rebel Ridge. If you haven't watched Rebel Ridge on Netflix, you should also watch it. It has like the same tension and it grasps you properly. Some really tight and really tense scenes in this film that I really enjoyed. The acting is mostly okay from everyone, as there's this one scene where the main character, he knows that some guys are going to die, and just the thought of people dying just makes him throw up. And I was like, wow, he's such a caring human being, just the thought of, I don't know, strangers passing away, a bunch of them, he was like throwing up. I found that to be very nice. It just showed how caring he is as an individual. I like the use of interpersonal conflicts. So for those of you who don't know, this short version of the story is that our main character works in the airport as TSA, and he gets some guys who want to transport this item through the airport, and they basically blackmail him into trying to cooperate with transporting this item onto the plane. That's just the summarized version of this whole thing. He works in TSA. They contact him. They tell him, hey, let us get this thing through the airport or we kill your loved ones. So as he's trying to waddle through this situation, he ends up stepping on a lot of toes, colliding with his workmate, with his girlfriend, and I really liked that. There's a huge theme of control in this film. Not just control of how the villain has control over him in this situation, but also the main character's desire to regain control of not just the situation he's in, but also his life in general. We learned that he always aspired to be like a cop, but he kept failing, or he kept applying and not getting any responses. So the whole general theme of the film is gaining back control. The film also employs the use of escalation. So escalation is when you think things are bad, but then they just move from bad to worse. The film does this really well. And I liked it, instead of just doing a whole cat and mouse. So cat and mouse is basically you have the good guy chase the bad guy chase the good guy chase the bad guy chase the good guy, and then it is in this like plateau back and forth. But instead, no, the film moves up and then moves up and then moves up. Just when you think things can't get worse, they get worse again. There's one scene I really liked where this one female detective lady, she realizes that she's being escorted by some dude who is, I think, supposed to be from Homeland. That scene was pretty cool. The one problem I have with this film, just one problem, just one, is there are certain scenes where stuff happens and you're like, is nobody seeing this? Like it's happening in an airport. So in my head, I'm like, why is nobody seeing this? For example, there's this one scene where our main character, he enters a room, and in that room, he pretends that he's searching someone. And I'm like, isn't that room supposed to have cameras? Or there's this one scene where his girlfriend is being chased in a parking lot, and I'm like, she's being chased in a parking lot. Why is nobody seeing this? Why are there no guards to see this? There's one scene on a plane, and one character goes into like the cargo section of the plane. I was like, I didn't know you could do that. Okay, first of all, I've never been outside my country, so I don't know much about how airports work, and I don't know how the mechanics of aeroplanes. So I know there are people who are going to watch this film and going to be like, well, in a realistic situation in an airport, you'd never be able to access there, or you'd never be able to do this or ABCD. So it depends with how much you know about airports and aeroplanes and whatnot. But there's this one scene. one of the characters is able to access where the cargo is, like, easily. And I was like, how? I would assume that section of the plane would be like so secure that nobody would ever be able to like go back there and be able to access baggage. Tell me, like, when you're inside a plane, can you just go to where the cargo is and start like sifting through cargo like that? Anyway, it's a movie, so I can be lenient with it. One thing I like about this film is that it takes itself very seriously. Netflix films typically don't take themselves seriously. They tend to be very soulless and generic. But this one, I know probably this is not like a super original idea, but it was executed well and done very decently in my opinion, and it gets a rating out of 7.5 out of 10 from me. That's my rating, 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It's one of the more decent things to watch. It reminds me very much of the film Rebel Ridge. It's not the same concept, but it's the same genre, like thriller mystery type. And Rebel Ridge takes itself very seriously, just like this one takes itself very seriously. And they are both on Netflix, so watch Rebel Ridge. It's also a good one, and you can like watch it together with Carry On. I give Carry On 7.5 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to smash like and subscribe. And on the screen, I'll leave other reviews I've done for Netflix things. Tell me what you thought of this movie. I enjoyed it. I actually originally wanted to give it an 8, but because of the few problems that I just stated, I was like, let me just give it a 7.5. And then I'll see you in the next one.